fools watch me glide with you. Ay, roll up that wood and get high with you. Stay 1K, ain't no surprise with you. Ay, hit my line when you want that lumber. Shawty, you been hiding, I'ma catch you in the summer. Turn a 50 play into 100, ain't no fumbles. Your ex said he ballin', but he got no jump. Shot my boy Harlow, racks in my cargoes. Meals on my mind, I'ma get that tomorrow. Back in the day, used to whip Monte Carlo. Shot my boy Bobby, shot my boy Harvo. That I can lay down with.
Yeah, man, another one. It's the Koopa. Subscribe, give a like, give a subscribe. Do both. Do once. Do nothing. I don't know. I'm not in charge of you. But you know I am in charge. All three of these characters, because it's a solo quest. Once again, it's a companionship of myself. Because, damn, have I neglected being friends with myself? Friends with everybody but me. You know, who needs friendship of self? Really? Nobody. That's a lie. I am lying. Anyways, guys. Welcome to another part in the Water Realm. This is our second Water Realm episode. We're in 3.4 now, and we'll give a little story spoilers today. We're just doing the whole Dragon Quest spiel. You make it to the new town, you talk to the king, and then hopefully the king helps you do what you need to do, and, you know, if they don't, then you convince them. This is one of those towns where you need to convince them. Of course, you know our goal. This version, excuse me, is to connect the 5 realms. So that's what we're doing here. We're just gonna go and ask the royalty to help us connect them with the tower. The tower in this realm is actually in the throne room, so it's kind of cool. It's just like behind them, but you'll see once we get there, they actually do not like the idea of connecting the realms, and they tell us to get out because, you know, their god, they don't worship Nadraga, their god says it's bad, connect the realms, bad, don't do it. So they tell us to leave, and then we go out to help another guy in the town, because that's what we do. We're just here to help people. He needs some flowers for a grave, which is, you know, sad. We don't like dead things, so we get the flowers, and we come back to him, and he tells us some backstory about Reska. The funny thing about Reska, the reason why I have to get congratulates. I don't know about my words, man, today. I don't know, man. It's too early for words. The reason why Reska so closely relates to drowning in the realms and whatnot is because of the past of it, and we learned that from this guy we're going to talk to soon. So essentially, because of their sins, Reska used to be a port city, but it was sank underwater. Because, you know, just general sins of the humanity and all that good stuff. And then the god that they worship, Kashal, little dolphin god, actually helped them build a civilization down here, a little bit of an Atlantis. So Kashal is the god that helps us breathe underwater with the little bubbles and whatnot as well. And we'll learn more about them pretty soon. But for now, as you see the title of the episode, we're going to be talking about, you know, horrible women economics, womenomics. We're talking about hoflation and all that fun stuff. But I felt like just equating this to, I don't know, you know, not a red pill, manosphere kind of bullshit, but just, you know, not that it's a battle of the sexes, but the fact that it's metagamed into a more of like a war, a constant issue with the sexes. And I don't think it was always like this. I think there was a time where collaboration was on an all-time high, but I think it always ebbs and flows, you know? It always ebbs and flows, and people are like, you know, we'll never have something as bad as the Holocaust, you know? But history repeats itself. History repeats itself. It goes in cycles. So right now we're just in a woman cycle where women are very strong. And I didn't mean to get ominous by that and say, you know, there's going to be a horrible exodus of a bunch of people. But, you know, I'm not here to radicalize you guys. Genocide is already happening in the world right now. You know, it's multiple times. It's not on a wide as scale, but, you know, even before the Holocaust, there was a horrible event that killed a lot of people that nobody really talks about in Germany. You know, there's like, whoa, there's a reason the Germans were so angry? Yes, there is. There fucking is. And just, you have to realize that the world is a lot bigger, a lot more granular than just what you feel and what your general, you know, empathetic emotions dictate you to care about at the moment. Because if you take a step back, we have a huge perspective. You realize a lot of stuff you care about right now, you're not going to care about in like, 2 minutes. Hard to do though. Hard to do when we are a reaction-based economy. That's why a lot of people dedicate a lot of time to thumbnails, because you don't get people to watch a video while they're watching a video. You get them to watch a video by the thumbnail, that 5-second interaction with a picture that's going to convince someone to touch it. That 5-second interaction's got to communicate a lot of shit in one picture. And that's why the thumbnail crafting is such a big thing, because we live in a reaction culture, a feeling culture. And I apologize. Well, I don't even know why I'm apologizing. I mean, who am I apologizing to? We have like 0.01% females. But anyways, if I ever get more females in here, a couple years from now, and you're rewatching this video, I apologize. I'm calling you out. It's far too easy for the girls to relax into the feeling mind state, and just naturally this is going to make life harder, because you relax into the feeling mind state. Life already has a shitload of variables in it, right? Shitload of variables in life. You can't really control it. But when you combine that with your own variables, and you don't have a strict routine of what you do based on your morals, guess what happens? You're random interacting with random, and then your RNG is all fucked up. Your stat sheet is all fucked up. You ask yourself, I'm doing the same things every time. Why is nothing going the same? Why is nothing going well for me? And that's just simply and strictly because you're not. You may think you are. You may think you're like for example, I always follow my heart. That's my consistency. Well, duh. Any guy can clearly see this as being an inconsistent fact. But for some reason, girls think when you always follow your heart, it's gonna lead to, the same kind of wonderful thing that you see in Disney movies, And sure, you're gonna need a little bit of an element of that to truly get what you want, get something that really combines with you. Have an element of that, of course. But having that be your consistent nature, it's going to lead to a lot of confuddle, when following your heart sometimes means doing two different things at the same time. See, your heart's going to lead you in different ways, but if you have a routine, if you have a dedication to a cause, a purpose, a person, Because every time when you dedicate yourself to a person, every time or everything you do for them is not made of love. It's not because of love. Love may be somewhere in the background. Love may be baked into it somewhere. But people, we can't make a cake with just flour. You see what I'm saying here? For the things to help us have the happy Disney ending, which one doesn't fucking exist. When you get married, shit just still keeps going. When you get a girlfriend, shit just still keeps going, and you gotta keep growing. But goddamn, man, when you drown, you love that. You love my verbiage uses right there. We're in the water realm. I know we're not in the water realm right now, but we're chilling. I'm in Magistrus, so we can put a mustache on my character, because this is supposed to be Asmongold. But moving on. When you drown, when you drown in your emotions, man, it doesn't help you see the air, breathe the crazy shit that we're all breathing here, It doesn't help you see the truth of life. And for a lot of people, it's completely unnecessary to see the truth of life. So I get it. I completely get it. But for the guys that, want to live and not be a shell of ourselves with some woman here, it's like, I'm a shell of myself, but at least I have a woman to take care of, who has the power to take my house home in life if she ever wants to, and I'm not even alive. I'm just kind of here making her happy. Who cares if I'm happy? Like, I get so sad when I see guys like that. I don't want to be like that. But I will, admit that I would like a something, a someone, guy or girl or thing or human being that would care to be around me. And I know my general needs are a little selfish, actually, because when I really get down to brass tacks, the reason why I'm not constantly drowning in women, I've mentioned this before, is because I hate having a roster. So whenever, explicit romantic intentions aren't involved, I kind of just stop talking to you. Nowadays, I used to have a little bit of a rotation going, and then I got an STD, and I was like, well, this is stupid. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, this is retarded. I mean, like, maybe I'm having like unsafe sex, sure, but the safe sex isn't fun. So I'm just not gonna have any of it. It doesn't equate to a net positive for guys. We're just losing things constantly lose. And what do? You keep drowning, and then you're eventually like, let me just hit the surface. And I feel like that's what's slowly happening to girls. It's at a very, very, very slow rate because there's still some motherfucking simps out there that think, I don't know why, but they think if I just simp the right way, if I just simp to the right degree, it's gonna get her right. But it never works. I've tried it too, guys. Don't act like I've never been on the simp train. I've been on the simp train. I've tried it too. It does not work. You're going to lose respect every time. And I've noticed this with myself too. It's like I can't really respect a woman who simps for me too hard without me doing anything. It's like, why do you like me this much, you fucking weirdo loser? Like, what is wrong with you? I have like 8 other girls willing to do this for me, but you're like, no, but I just want to hang out with you. I just want to talk to you. Let me text you 8 times a day. Girls know that's not attractive. So if a girl is actively doing that to you, she thinks you're desperate. She thinks he can't get anything else, so I better let him know that I'm here for, everything. Or possibly the opposite. But if she's doing that to you and she thinks the opposite, then she probably thinks you're an idiot and don't notice that she wants you a lot. Because, motherfuckers are just, they're so oblivious to signs like that, and it's funny that that intelligence level in guys is actually sought after. Girls love the idiots. Girls hate it when you're attractive and you're attractive, and worse, that they're attracted to you. Girls hate that. Especially when they see you going after, someone that they know. And this is why I'm not a fan of collaborative attraction, guys, because it just emotions and the way people interact because of the emotions. It's not real. It's not authentic. It's not what you really want. Maybe in the moment, but like having those thoughts and in questioning things to their natural end state is not something people do before they engage, and perhaps if I did this a little bit less, I would have more opportunities to then have experience in relationships and become more comfortable with the mundane things like sharing my experiences or, having a warm, comforting moment with someone or strictly just listening to someone's problems without constantly trying to solve them. Perhaps I would be able to do that if I have enough practice in it. But you see me, I think about things. I analyze things, and I'm sorry, bro, but if you give me one indicator that your nature is not combined in with mine, I'm good. And then everybody who I see has a nature that's kind of like mine, whether it be fake or not, whether it be mirroring or not, the way I chase people just turns them off to an umpteenth degree. The reason why someone like me even got a lot of play is because I am hella ambiguous, and so we just kind of leave things up in the air until the girl eventually decides, oh my god, let me just rape this guy. Let me just trick him into the bed because this is too much for me. This is far too much for me. And I don't think that's a way. I mean, I don't get turned on by that, I'm not a general fan of that element of courtship. But at the same time, I don't want to be the enforcer. You know, I'm not a fan of force. I'm a fan of peace. I'm a fan of conflict resolution. You know what? I would love it if every time before I had sex, we were like, okay, so what are you into? You into this? You into that? You into this? But those conversations are hard to have with people. And so we get a bunch of one-night stands with girls who get choked the fuck out and abused. Because these are just uncomfortable. And I thought I was, I thought I was the lamest, most anxiety-ridden, uncomfortable being on earth. But the truth is, nobody wants to have these conversations. I'm still adverse to it, but I feel like, I'm way ahead of a lot of people of my generation. I'm sorry, millennials, but y'all are the worst. The worst at being vulnerable. And I think it's just because we fucked up the meaning of the word vulnerability. We all think it means that you're about to get attacked. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. You're not opening yourself up for fire. You're opening yourself up for understanding. And if you think someone understanding you is going to cause them to hurt you, then you shouldn't be talking to this person anyways. And yeah, the sad realization is a lot of people aren't there to help you. A lot of people are there to actively hurt you, whether one way or not, whether intentionally or not, and I don't think that's a bad thing. We're all self-serving creatures, right? If you're going to do something that's going to benefit you, but not necessarily benefit me, and you don't know how I'm going to feel about it, then why not do it, right? Why not get in there? But I think a little differently. Because for some reason, I think I'm in everybody's head, and I think I know what's good for them. I think I know what's going to help them, when in reality you don't. You may have a gist, you may have an idea, but in reality you don't. So a lot of my decisions I make, if they involve someone else, they automatically put in that variable. And I'm like, can I take that variable out? I just don't want to think about this because I really don't know. I really don't fucking know. I think like I have this huge big brain and I just know I know the behavior of the world. I'm going to save the world. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're hardly ever going to save the water realm, you loser. And so, for a long time in my life, maybe like 2 years in my life, I found myself trapped in a web of not lies, but half-truths of love, loss, cheating, saving, all this weird shit, all this weird gooner shit for, the quote-unquote goal of life, to have sex, to touch buns, to touch ass. I was drowning in it until I decided no. Well, I didn't decide, the whole disease is decided, but through life, I just realized, this is not the end game, and I don't think everybody needs to have a hoe phase. I used to think that before, I'm like, everybody should have a little hoe phase to figure out what they are or whatever. I don't think that anymore. I think even if you're a guy, you can gain confidence from something else. It doesn't have to be from how good you fuck. It doesn't have to be. Of course, you want to be able to fuck good, but it's not that important. It's not that important. On the grand scheme of things, it's not that important. So if you haven't got laid yet, if you're a virgin, and you just don't know how to fuck, I assure you guys, it's not like I had to read a tutorial or have a book or even have a girl try to explain anything to me at all. That never happened. So honestly, I feel like I'm still at square one. I've just, fucked over a bunch of girls' lives with some horrible sex. And I'm still at square one. But because let me explain that a little bit. Because in the end, if you want to be good at coitus, you have to really feel out the person that you're with. And that's why most casual sex is bad, because you don't really know that person. If casual sex is good with someone, that just means somebody's fucked a lot, and you can kind of lean into what works for most people. And that's not necessarily a good thing. You can just clean slate everything. That's like the it's like the McDonald's worker that gets your order out super quick, and you're like, oh my gosh, what great service. When in reality, it's fucking McDonald's, dog. It's fucking it's not rocket science. It's how do you do? I don't know, man. There, done. That's how you do it. What the fuck? It's not rocket science. So I get not being confident. But just we need more father figures in the world that don't actually care about sexual gratification. because the world has really become obsessed with it, especially women. And this is why I say sex is for women, because even me now in this area where I have not tried to touch buns in a long time, I've tried to get a relationship. Yeah, I've not tried to touch buns in a long time. And honestly, the ways people talk to you is so weird, man. Like, everyone is just goon brained. And I don't know if it's just me because, you know, I am goon brained. And I interpret the text that people type to me as being goon brained. But if we're not talking about sex on like an app or like a, you know, like a text message or whatever, the conversation is just stupid dry, like ugly dry. Like, do you have any other interest at all? At all? I don't think so. And it's really weird how just the environment of femininity has become skewed towards like growing up and becoming a woman so fast. Yeah, that we're just like over sexualizing the entirety of childhood, and then people miss out on it, and then you have like 50-year-olds looking at Pokemon cards like, I didn't have a childhood because I was too busy fucking douche. I was too busy doing drugs. I was too busy working. That's a thing too. There's a lot of crazy things going on in the general populace of America. And I think we're generally teaching kids to grow up to be gooners. Sad but true. And they're trying to put band-aids over it and acting like we're not drowning in our own sexual gratification, you know, with the whole IDs for porn and whatnot. You gotta be of age now. We're gonna cut it off. And then Visa's stopping you from buying porn now, and not even really just porn, like some horror games that are deemed too horrific. I'm like, why? It's not gonna stop anyone. This is not gonna stop anyone. And they're masking it behind some "we care about the kids" bullshit. You do not care about the kids, motherfucker. You do not. We stopped caring about the kids long ago. Long ago. You know, I don't even think we ever really did, you know? I don't think we ever really did. And I, you know, not necessarily a fan of ending the human race, but the fact that we're not having kids right now, and to me, is a good thing. Because they are not safe. They are not safe. With all of the deletion of girlhood and the way girls just want to be like older women now, it's weird. It's just weird. It's just weird because, you know, guys step out there and they're not only scared of other of age women, you know, getting them for being harassers, but they're also scared that if I talk to another girl outside, she might be underage and I might just not fucking know, because fucking Christ, man, they all look like actual women. I'm not even like, what in the fuck is going on, man? It's weird. It's weird, and you're called a weirdo if you talk about it. Like how dare you think these women, you're watching too much anime and your perspective is, no, I'm not. I know what a little girl looks like. I know exactly what a little girl looks like. And these 15, 14, even 12 and 10-year-olds, the makeup is crazy now. And that's just because the metagame has gone crazy, you know? The metagame for makeup has gone crazy. And so they have to upgrade it somehow. I mean, I guess they don't. People just want more money. And that's what it really comes down to in the end. You think all this crazy shit going down is because, you know, they want to radicalize us and destroy, you know, America? No, man. It's because all the people who have been drained by the capitalistic society, you know, capitalistic society is not bad, but corporatism is. And when the feminist movement started and the corporatism went off, we had all these women join the workforce. Basically, the executives just kind of had a field day, man. They're like, fuck it, you know, we don't have to pay these guys more. We don't. You know, they want to work. And, you know, they'll solve their differences. They'll combine their wages, you know, and then they'll have a happy family once again. But obviously that is not how it worked. Obviously that is not how it worked. And now the wealth disparity is it's growing. It's not even big. It's not even huge. It is growing. Not much we can do to stop it, besides just call attention to the crazy bullshit and check out of the game. That's why so many millennials, Gen Zs are doing it. I'm kind of, it's so sad, but I've lost hope for my generation. Millennials, we didn't fuck it up, right? We didn't fuck it up. I used to think for a while this year that millennials fucked up the world. We didn't fuck it up. It was already getting fucked up. We rolled the boulder along the fuck up path, right? We didn't change direction. But the thing is, and I believe this is true for a lot of millennials, when I was in high school and we had the Obama administration, I thought we were going in a different direction. I really did. Am I stupid? Am I stupid for thinking that? Am I stupid for thinking feminism was a good thing back then? I didn't think it was a bad thing. But I certainly didn't think it was as bad as this generation of feminism we have now. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought the healthcare was getting better. I thought the racism was getting better. I thought everything was getting better. When in reality, the DEI bullshit and the student loans bullshit and all this crap going on was just, it was ruminating. It's kind of like what I've said with your nature. You can push it down as much as you want and hold that nature down. It's like, I'm not gonna be a gooner, not gonna be a gooner, not gonna be a gooner. And as soon as you relax into not being a gooner, guess what happens? Guess what happens, motherfucker? You're a gooner again. You have become Gooner Apocalypse. Gooner level 2. Okay. But you see, to truly reincarnate yourself, you have to just find something to replace that with, so you don't have to go back there. And yeah, there's no good replacement for racism. We tried to add prejudice plus power to it and replace it with that. So like, yeah, now you can't be racist against white people. But I'm like, no, that's not a good replacement for racism. We can't do that, guys. We can't do that. We're seeing how bad that is leveling out for us. And I don't know why the general idea that, we can judge people by what they do is not a thing. And I feel like people really do that nowadays, especially when it comes to black people. As a matter of fact, crazy thing, I think people judge you by what you do more if you're a black person. I feel like this for a long time. When you're black, people just kind of 3 times your movement, you just get a 3 times multiplier on everything. So when you're black, if you're a good dancer, you're 3 times as good a dancer as a white guy. If you're black and you're attractive, you're 3 times as more attractive. You know what I'm saying? It just, or any other race, essentially. If you're bad, you're 3 times more bad. If you're loud, you're 3 times more loud. Like, it's just a multiplier. That's all it is, really. And the fact that there are so less of us in America, there's not really a lot of examples of how we act. And America is so diverse that you're going to get a lot of different, survey examples of how the fuck people are. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about, man. But where was I? Oh yeah, drowning women. Drowning women, guys. I suppose we'll stop this here, as I've rambled on long enough. I feel like I need to. Oh, I feel like I need to smoke a blunt or something, but yeah, I would say in general, the drowning is something you can definitely do. I'm drowning in this manosphere shit. I'm drowning in this T-app shit right now. And what's going on there? And a lot of the stuff that's happening right now just is like, is this real life? It's so weird to me. It's so weird to me. It's like I need to take more steps outside. I haven't been outside enough. Because, man, the world is a crazy place. It really is. Takes one to know one, It takes one to know one. I would like everybody to leave a message for me in the comments if you made it this far. And you liked my talks on drowning on women and the manosphere and a little bit of racism action going on there, I would like you to leave the message. Leave the message. Orphan women. Orphan women. I don't know if that's how you spell or say that. I don't know. But appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys listening. Everybody have a good day. Next time we're going to a little underwater dungeon. And I will see you then. See you later, guys.
Said the pic to me, told her that she look astounding. Walked in and she cut it down with. And she like the way I'm well-rounded. Don't talk too much. If I'm honest with you, it might be all too much. I might want too much. I was up to liquor when I called you up, right? Shawty, pick your phone up. Pick your phone up, yeah. Let's go. Shawty, pick your phone up. Pick that phone up for you, boy. She want the boy cause I'm feeling outstanding. Buy her a bag cause I'm feeling romantic. I feel like Drizzy on ransom. Me and her fuck like we stranded.